Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary of the story of the event Thelxie's Fantastic Adventures released in Genshin Impact version 4.2. The traveler answers a commission and meets De La Roche, a representative of the Fontaine Fishing Association. De La Roche says all the fish in a fishing spot in Aranias have vanished and they need the traveler to go investigate. De La Roche suspects water imps called Thelxie are involved. They head to Aranias and bump into Fremine. Fremine explains that he's been hired to build a special toy that he named Thelxie. His employer will come by shortly. The traveler brings up the missing fish, and Fremine explains that he's been testing Thelxie underwater and that probably scared away the fish. The fish should come back after he's done testing Thelxie. The traveler then offers to help and head over to Fremine's camp. Once there, they help work on Thelxie. After they're done, they meet Fremine's employer, Zuria Destray. Zuria tells them about her son who has loneliness syndrome, which sounds a lot like depression. Eventually, sufferers of loneliness syndrome lose the ability to differentiate between reality and delusions. Zuria's son has entered this phase and succumbed to a fantasy world involving water imps. Zuria hopes to use Thelxie to guide her son out of his delusions. In order to do so, they must take this seriously and go on some real adventures with Thelxie as a stand-in for her own son. Using those adventures as inspiration, they'll draw them into an unfinished picture book Zuria's son was drawing. Hopefully, drawing over the sad parts of the book with their happy adventures will be enough to guide him out of his delusions. Zuria then tells them she and her son are currently living in a house nearby and they should meet at Fremine's camp in 2 days to go on their first adventure. Zuria leaves and Fremine warns the traveler to brace themselves for what happens next. Fremine isn't sure this will work and cases of loneliness syndrome can turn fatal. 2 days later, they go on an adventure and fill in the picture book with their tales. Along the way, Fremine also constructs a crown for a coronation they plan to have at the end of the adventure. 2 days after that, they meet for the next adventure, but Zuria isn't there. De La Roche then shows up saying she was worried. De La Roche tells them of past eyewitness accounts of a young boy tying heavy seashells to himself and entering the water. The boy did not return. The boy's name was Lescott Destray. They realize this was Zuria's son and head over to Zuria's house. Once there, they meet Jala Khan, Zuria's doctor. Jala Khan tells them that Zuria has loneliness syndrome and cannot differentiate between reality and fantasy. Zuria's husband died and her son soon after. Zuria now delusionally believes her son is still alive. Zuria had been in a good mood until last night when she saw a shell her son owned and broke down. They then decide that the best thing they can do is finish their adventure and fill out the rest of the picture book to show Zuria her son reached a happy ending. They go on the adventure and returned. Together with Zuria, they fill out the last pages of the picture book. Zuria then commences the coronation and has an emotional moment with Thelxie, believing it to be her son. Fremine gives the traveler his helmet, which can translate what Thelxie is saying. Thelxie is actually acting like her son and telling her he loves her. For a moment, Thelxie actually starts to look like her son. Thelxie soon says goodbye and they all leave. 3 days later, the traveler meets with Fremine. Fremine says that Zuria is doing much better and returned to the city. Zuria gave Fremine a copy of the picture book, which Fremine now gives to the traveler. Zuria also told Fremine that when she said goodbye to her son, she felt healed from some kind of mystical power. The three conclude that what happened to Zuria was truly something miraculous. And that is the end of this quest in this video. If you like what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.